So it's gonna be a little bit of a different episode today. Nothing super hard. So we're gonna do some like 6B-6Cs today, and I'm not gonna climb super fast like I usually try and do. It'll just be like slow, perfect technique. And today will be like all about the breathing. So really trying to get the breathing and the climbing to go together, kind of consciously being conscious about everything that you're doing while you're climbing. Cool. So we're gonna start out on a green 6A and then a red 6C.
Okay.
And see how it goes. Heel hooks for days. Alright, I'm actually not really sure how to do this. It's kind of tricky and big. You want to try?
So close.
Cool. So we're gonna do this black 6C plus, and then this blue 6C. Start with the black one, and it's kind of funky because it's like a tall person's route. A lot of stones, a lot of bumping around. But my way through it is do like a bunch of matches, a bunch of high feet. It's pretty cool.
I'm breathing, dude.
Breathing, always breathing. Definitely feels like my feet are dropping way easier than usual. I don't have like normal core tension that I usually have. So when I do those like super long stretches, it's much more common for me right now to just like drop the feet. So for me, it's really useful to time my breathing with that. So as I do it, I will breathe out so I can tense my entire body. And then once I hit the hold, just breathe in and continue. Try this blue one, super crimpy, my style. It's like super precision for when you come into it, because the way that the in-cut works is that if you get it wrong, you hit it super uncomfortably either here or here, but now where it joins, like right where the flat part is. So a lot of it is like precise breathing. So like breathe out, pop into it, breathe in. So it's a lot of precision movements. There's really no room for sloppiness on those kind of holds. All right, so we're gonna hop on this neon yellow 6A and just like really break it down with precision. And for me, that's like doing everything perfectly. It's when you hit the hold, they're jugs, so it's easy to regrip, but hit it in a way that you don't have to regrip whatsoever. And then even if you hit it badly, you're locked into that position. So really it's teaching it yourself to do it right the first time, and with like minimal expenditure of energy. So for me, the way to have perfect kind of control and have that good precision for doing everything well is everything needs to come together really well. It's your core needs to be on point, your feet need to be on point, your hips need to be on point, and the amount of energy that you have starting the movement needs to be perfect. If you're overshooting or undershooting, you're not doing it well. If you have feet that are kind of swinging around to each side because your core is not tight, you're doing it wrong. So the nice thing about having those really big holds is that you don't have to worry about the fingers and the hands quite as much. It's much easier to actually hone in on the hips and the toes and the body control movement so much more. So it's easy to get the precision. So it's like not just is hitting the holds as precise as you can, but the actual expenditure of energy and how much you're using to get to the holds is also perfect. And that's not so much as like a bouldering thing, but for sport climbing it's really big that you're using like minimal amount of energy for each hold or for each move to get yourself to the top of the route. Alright, so we're gonna hop on this black 6C Plus, and it's kind of this weird combination of slopers and crimps, so body attention is a must for all of it. So what I think about is really the angle that I approach all the holds, because a lot of them aren't so good if you take them one way, so you have to take them pretty much like the right way. And it's just experimenting to find out the right way to take them the first time around. And for me, I'm going to be trying to not replace any of my feet, and then coordinating everything with breathing for the entire session. Cool, so for that one, as always, just focusing on breathing a bunch, making sure that every move was accompanied by good breathing. And also a really big one for that is that I don't match feet at all, actually. So a lot of it is stepping through and making sure that I get good flow without having to, because usually when you match feet, it kind of disjoints the flow. So for me, I focus on being able to step through with a lot of my feet so that I don't really stop the movement at all. Alright, so we're going to finish it up on this neon yellow 6C, and it's quite slopey and there's a lot of lock-offs, but the big problem for me with these holds is that I will start to fly out from the wall before I actually get to the hold. So what I really like to focus on is that I keep my hips to the wall at all times, along with good core, good breathing, and then hitting, especially with slopers, you want to use the smallest amount of energy as possible. So you want to hit it right exactly the first time. I'm actually not so happy with that. So I think what happened was that I've done this one so many times, and I've done it so many different ways that I didn't really decide on the best beta for me right as I was beginning, so that I got halfway through and then decided to switch betas like in the moment. And the important thing for me to fix that is that I don't leave the problem on a bad note. I'll usually go back and figure out exactly the beta that I want to do on it, and then reclimb it as perfectly as I can with that beta. So it's like that's the beta that's kind of stored in your mind, and not the bad one that you messed up on. A little bit better. A lot of it better, actually. Alright, so what I did differently for this time was before I messed up my feet and ended up matching and just kind of messed up the flow. And then this time I figured out the beta that could keep my flow with my feet. Because I could keep my flow with my feet, I could keep the core tight and my hands well sequenced or whatever, and it all just went perfectly. So today's video ended up just being a little bit different. We really only show you guys the hard problems, but our route series build, like everything is so great in here to climb on, that especially when you go into everything as like, what can this problem teach me? It's like no matter what you're climbing, you're gonna get a lot out of your session. So it's always super useful for me to go back and revisit these easier problems. But we'll try and do this a little bit more often, I think. I think it would be good for you guys to see like a wider range of what we have represented at our gym. But as always, thanks a bunch for watching, and comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.